Beers and Banter pilot episode. 25th of March 2019. History-making day.
It's a big day. It is a big day. Tell us why, Matty.
First podcast. It's a lifelong dream.
Yep.
And I've always liked the sound of my own voice, and finally I've put the necessary equipment in place so that I can record it and share that voice with as many people as possible.
The suffering, some would say.
As Dad would say, yeah. Only good friends will probably listen. Even they won't. Just hopefully really just recording it for close friends and family.
Yep. It's about all we could hope that would listen to it.
The podcast is called Beers and Banter. Well, hopefully, cheers. We'll have a couple of cheers to the first episode.
So, tell me, is there someone missing? Is there someone missing today? Well, I feel like, considering I'm the audio guy that's meant to be behind, and I'm sitting at the front here, is there someone that should be here? Give us a little bit of maybe a background of where it's going.
Yeah, so brainchild, obviously we had some discussions at work, you and me, Dylan, and Dylan's supposed to be the big part of the show. It's just really hard to get him to turn up and record. Look, I've spent a lot of money making this podcast studio look like someone's dingy garage.
It has. You've done a lot of work considering what it was before.
Yeah.
You've really pulled that off, that look.
It was expensive.
It's the heat. I feel the humidity.
Well,
way you
we turned the aircon off too, so that we don't want any creature comforts.
Yes.
That's supposed to, just a couple of blokes catching up for some beers.
Yep.
Talking a bit of sport. We might talk some pop culture at certain stages. I do love a bit of politics too, but finding a guest that wants to talk politics might be a bit hard.
Could be a bit of a struggle.
I do thank you for filling in.
Mate, it's a pleasure. It's definitely a pleasure.
We were supposed to keep you behind the camera because, let's face it, we don't want the ladies mobbing the studio. That could turn ugly.
That could be. That could definitely be a problem. Yeah.
So it's been a big couple of weeks in sport. We've obviously kicked off the NRL. We were hoping to go last week. Couldn't all get in the one spot at the same time. But I guess let's the elephant in the room. Massive Titans fan. So if you've come for an unbiased, level-headed opinion on rugby league, switch off now. You're not going to get it here. But yeah, definitely Titans supporter, but all-round rugby league supporter, but following lots of sports. Wasn't the start of the season that we wanted with the Titans. It was miserable, wet. Lost our halfback right before the kickoff, then lost the 5-8 during the game.
So a list of excuses from what I can hear. Is that?
Yeah. Well, we followed up in round 2 and stayed consistent, and we lost that as well. But people calling for the coach's head. I think it's early. A couple of losses is not going to ruin our season. I think they were close. They won the field position battle, to be honest, with the Sharks on the weekend. Crossed the line 3 times in the first half. Just couldn't finish that last 1% and convert. So I don't think they're that far away. Stay strong, Titans fans. It's not going to be that bad.
It's not all over yet.
It's not over.
Early days.
It is early days. We've got 20 odd rounds to go. The Cowboys, they were impressive. Round 1, we had Jason Tamalalo, 301 run meters, and first game of the season. I basically penciled the Cowboys in for the grand final when I saw that. Unfortunately, though, round 2, Tamalalo injured, could be gone for 10 weeks, and they couldn't replicate their round 1 form. So maybe the Cowboys won't follow that up. Breathing into the microphone. Apologies, all those listening at home. It's first time.
We can try and edit that out. Actually, I'm thinking we can try and edit you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how we go.
It's going to be quiet.
That could be.
Formula 1.
There we go, matey. What happened in Formula 1 on the weekend?
Well, it's always good. It's always good that the Formula 1 season kicks off in Australia. There's always a lot of pressure heaped on the local talent. Obviously, Ricciardo.
Yeah, you're talking a big game. I did see your Facebook posts.
Yeah, I was
leading into the weekend.
I thought
how'd that work out?
Yeah, didn't get through the first straight.
Yep,
ripped the front wing off on some secret pothole, manhole, drain, something. It was Ricciardo on the first round. But as they say, 2 weeks is a long time in sport because he's back in Bahrain this weekend. The Renault team are spruiking that they do have some power unit upgrades and a different aero package. So hopefully we'll see a better result out of Dan this weekend.
Very good.
What else is happening? Whoa. Nick Kyrgios up to his old tricks. Do you follow Nick much?
Definitely not. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
I just wonder if he didn't have the controversy. I reckon he's one big result in a tournament away from like Australia loving him.
Just being on side.
Yeah. Like Leighton went from being a wanker to he started winning a few things and everyone forgot about him being a bit of a brat. I think Kyrgios is the same, but unfortunately he did an underarm serve in his latest win overseas there and started getting heckled from the crowd and time violations and whatnot.
The tantrum started.
Brisbane Lions, are they back? They've had a win on the weekend.
Yep,
I don't really do AFL. That was Dillsey's party. I was supposed to do the AFL round one wrap. So
they have had a win.
Yeah, we could struggle a little bit there. A lot of people are trying to immediately glory days Lions. I'd say it's one win. Ease up.
What about croquet? Anything on the croquet front?
I missed all the croquet on the weekend.
Yeah, can be tough to fit it all in, can't it? It's family
I'm
life.
only one man.
We've got fishing. We've got so many things going on.
One man with two eyes.
Yep. Very good.
What else? So big overnight. Listen, I thought we'd have nothing to talk about today. Overnight, we've seen a bit of a Ravi Ashwin mancad in the IPL. Now, as far as I'm concerned, it's game on. He's out of his crease. Stump him. Move on. Shane Warne, arguably the GOAT, has other ideas. Says it's not in the game. Not in the spirit of the game, but I guess so's sandpaper.
He's out of his crease. Game on.
That's what I reckon.
I would use that every day of the week.
Look at this spirit of the game. It's either in the rules or it's not.
Yep, that's it. Very clear.
You can either take a belt sander out onto the field and tamper the ball or not.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my opinion. But good news though, Warner hit 85 on his return. So obviously it's just gone 12 months to the day of the sandpaper incident over there in Cape Town. So we could see we could see a quick return for Warner back into the Australian setup. He's hit 85 on his IPL return. So Smith had a really fast-paced 20 and then got out, but so not as impressive. But good signs.
Warner's 85. It's good. Good comeback.
Good signs leading into the World Cup. I feel like we've raced through all of our topics way too quick.
This is an introduction. It's giving people a bit of a feel of what to expect. It's definitely it's where we wanted to start.
So we really wanted to stay away from topics such as Married at First Sight.
What else?
My Kitchen Rules, all that.
No MasterChef.
If you've come here for like reality television reviews, probably not the place.
Definitely not.
Marvel, you could get me interested in a bit of Marvel Universe or Game of Thrones. You watch Game of Thrones?
No, I don't watch Game of Thrones, no.
You don't watch TV, but you're one of those weirdos, right?
Well, watch documentaries. Yeah, definitely not. No
good
Game
docos?
of Thrones. Yeah, some good docos. Netflix, I'm partial to a doco on Netflix.
So what about that Fyre Festival? You were probably you were booked to play, probably?
I did enjoy watching the documentary, but I did not enjoy the fact that I was one of the idiots that bought tickets. No, definitely not. I don't know how I feel about that. It's interesting. What blew my mind was how many people they are out there with thousands of dollars to go and spend on a band that you can go and potentially see for $100.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
So they do say with the emergence of technology and people's jobs potentially changing over the next 10 to 20 years that, skill yourself up in providing experiences. So maybe there's going to be a lot of jobs that will be replaced by AI or robots, but people will continue to purchase experiences which is why we're seeing,
That's exactly what they sold. For the people that didn't see that documentary, I don't know what Fyre Festival is, matey. What is that? What was it?
I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it?
Mate, I watched two things, live sports and Game of Thrones reruns at the moment. That's it.
Okay, so basically it was a festival that was sold on the basis of Instagram what I call influencers.
Yep.
So that never existed. It wasn't that it was never going to exist, but they sold it purely on photos from Instagram people. And it's just amazing the traction and the millions of dollars they clawed out of people that this thing was never really had any chance of getting off the ground. Logistically, it was just never going to happen. And it was just, you've got to see the documentary to get your head around how crazy it is that this guy had the ability to, I suppose, con thousands of people out of, a lot of money.
And now those
Pretty funny.
influencers are in the shit because they're people that actually got paid out of that whole scenario.
Well, I suppose the idea was they should have known, they should have had a better understanding of what they were potentially selling. But I mean, who knows? How were they to know this guy could talk?
Speaking of which, we're in need of a sponsor.
We are in need of a sponsor. Yep.
We will accept money from beer companies.
Yep.
Look, I'd stoop so low as go betting agency.
Yep.
Gamble
Sports
responsibly, drink responsibly.
Yep.
Only joking. No. Obviously, this is just a little amateur hour podcast, but we are open to sponsorships and willing to drink your beer for free on the podcast.
And, for someone that's looking to increase their exposure by 10 people.
Yeah. My immediate family will probably watch this or listen to it on the way to work.
Yep. So there's a market in itself.
Yeah, right. What else are we going to cover? Well, I wanted to talk about massive news, something you do know a little bit about.
Oh, here we go.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
How's this for breaking news?
Okay, what is it?
He's announced his retirement via Twitter this afternoon.
Again?
Yeah, again. That was my thoughts. So, obviously, negotiations for his next fight aren't going well, and he's just playing the old "I'm retired" card so that everyone panics at the UFC. I'm interested to see, though, because it has ramifications when it comes to like their USADA testing and whatnot. So, if they're retired, they don't have to take the test. But I think even if he's joking and he plans to actually keep fighting, he's going to keep having to take the test. So that'll be the teller. I think he's made no secret to the fact that he wants to be a part owner or a shareholder in the company itself. So I would see this. I'd see this as a power play from Conor. I can't see him finishing his career getting mauled by Khabib. And look, I'm a massive Conor fan. I'm new to the UFC. Full disclosure. I'm not going to tell you that I've been following it forever, but I do love it. I'm hooked on it. And but from when I've been following it, massive Conor fan, but he got mauled by Khabib. I can't see that guy's ego letting him finish his career that way. So I think we'll see. We could see Conor come back out of retirement pretty quick.
He's very driven.
Yeah,
markets himself well.
He does. But $100 million in the bank. You've got your own whiskey. He's got his own clothing line. Would you go out and get punched in the face?
I don't know. I feel like I'd get punched in the face for $100 million.
I think what he's waiting for is another $100 million.
Okay.
Yeah. So little Conor does never have to work. Imagine that kid's growing up with a level head. I don't see it.
Very good.
Well, mate, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you,
just
mate.
A brief,
I do appreciate the opportunity to get behind the mic.
Just a brief podcast tonight. We're going to just a little teaser of what you can expect. Hopefully, we'll go in depth with some local legends. The idea for this podcast really did come from the fact that the Gold Coast is just really dense with high-level athletes, whether they're Olympians, former footy players or footy players. There's the surfers. Obviously, we've got the best surfers in the world here. So it really come from the idea that at some point I might be able to lure 2 or 3 of these people onto the podcast, and then along the way we might talk to some local legends as well. So thanks for tuning in for the first one. Thanks for joining me, Timmy.
Thanks, Matty.
And we'll see you guys next week.